So Joe, before you seeked out care from us, what care did you seek out before that?
I had actually over 5 years I'd had 2 back surgeries and physical therapy, been seen by a neurologist, and it just didn't change, the symptoms that I had. It got to a point where I had to leave my medical practice because I couldn't mobilize myself around the operating room, and moved down here and just realized, well, you know, I've got the rest of my life, I've got to do something about it because my feet were getting worse.
What did the other neurologists or physicians that you've seen before us suggest for you?
Well, they said I had spinal stenosis, and I was aware that that was a possible element of my dysfunction or my neuropathy, but that there was nothing else that they could do. I think that was probably the crux of it. And finally saw the information about this specific type of treatment, and felt that this would be something that I really owed it to myself to try. You know,
so what field of work do you do, Joe, and how did that affect your work?
Well, I'm an anesthesiologist, and oftentimes during some of the complex surgeries that we do, the lights in the operating room are pretty much out. And so you really don't realize how much you depend upon the sense of touch that you have in your feet that helps you get around areas, and so you don't trip on things. And I found myself tripping because I just couldn't feel the cords that were on the floor, for instance, in the operating room. So I got to a point where I felt I would be more of an obstacle to the patients and to the surgeons then it would be appropriate, so I just had to quit. Mm-hmm. So I just one day just told them, I'm sorry, I just can't work anymore. And as an anesthesiologist, your avenues are pretty limited. Yeah. You know, because if you can't work in the operating room, it's unless you want to do pain management, which I'd given up a while back. So I had to call it quits, and I couldn't see myself going for the rest of my life, wondering, you know, how much is this going to progress? Is there anything I can do to stop it? And when I saw the information in the paper, I just thought, well, this is something I can do.
Okay. And since you started care, how has your symptoms progressed?
Well, I knew from the get-go that it wasn't going to reverse a lot of the problems, but what did happen was I regained my balance, which was very important to me, because you can't do a whole lot if you don't have your balance, and if you're constantly worried about stumbling or falling. Right. So that has gotten much better. My stride is longer. I'm more confident walking on uneven surfaces and things like that, which you can't predict that. So when you've got that back, it certainly is a load off your shoulders.
Good. So Joe, what would you suggest someone who's considering care here?
Well, it's you have to consider your individual situation, but if it's something progressive that gets you to the point where you're even thinking about it, then you pretty much owe it to yourself to take the first step, is what they say, and just check out whatever you can do to help yourself out. This was the only thing that I read about that I found credible, and so that was pretty much a no-brainer.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our future patients?
I am so happy I did this.
Okay. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.